and welcome. I'm Supriya Srine. This is Mandate 2016, the big picture. Let's talk about the only news that matters today, and that is, of course, the mandate of the people. Across 4 states, 1 union territory, and India has voted decisively. A vote that has changed the political landscape across the country. The BJP well on its way to become the only truly national party right now. Will this embolden the Modi Sarkar's resolve to reform is really the big question. We're going to discuss that in just a bit. The anti-Modi bloc finding itself fragmented, but the regional satraps, the ones like Mamata, Banerjee and Jayalalitha, have only emerged stronger than they were before. Congress, of course, is left to pick up the pieces, and the big question is, are we seeing an imminent dissemination and a breakup of the grand old party? Those are the big takeaways as far as Mandate 2016 is concerned, and I couldn't have thought of a better panel than the one I have right now to take this forward. Prakash Javadekar joins us from the BJP. He's also a very eminent minister in the government. Priyanka Chaturvedi of the Congress Party, Rajiv Chandrasekhar, member Rajya Sabha, Sagarika Ghosh, always known to speak her mind, and of course Yogendra Yadav, who's been tracking elections and politics for a very long time now. Thank you very much, all of you, for being with us. I am indeed first going to take the liberty of asking the minister, since we have the privilege of having him on the show, Mr. Javadekar, what does this mandate mean for your party? In some sense, do you feel vindicated today? Is this your first arrival as a true national party? You've often been criticized as being a North India wonder. Mr. Javadekar.
Yeah, absolutely. The message is very clear. The Congress had held 2 states, Assam and Kerala. They lost both. We had no state in this round of election. And we won, which is very important, crucially important for Northeast and East. And we have also raised our bar in West Bengal, not only in terms of seats, but in terms of votes independently. In Kerala also, we have become a nearly third party with tripling our vote share. So, all in all, and Congress everywhere has reduced its vote share. So, BJP is rising, Congress is receding. That's the bigger message which comes out of today's round of election results.
So that seems to be the roundup of the election results. The BJP is rising and the Congress is receding. Priyanka Chaturvedi, you're known to be candid, you're known to give honest answers. Has the BJP dislodged you as the only national party today?
No, not really. If you look at all the 5 states that went into an election, Assam is the only exception where Bharatiya Janata Party has done well. If you look at Tamil Nadu, whether you look at West Bengal, whether you look at Kerala, or for that matter Puducherry, in all these places, BJP hasn't even managed to win double digits. So Assam is one place where they've managed to do well. But yes, that does not give us any consolence. What it needs to do for us also is something where we need to understand what went wrong for us. Assam, we knew it was going to be a tough battle, considering 3 terms of governance were given to us. Winning a 4th term in any democracy, in any country in the world, has been almost near impossible, but we were hoping to buck that trend. It hasn't worked. But this is something which we are learning from. As an opposition, we would be a constructive opposition, unlike how the Bharatiya Janata Party has been in many states. In terms of West Bengal, I think we draw comfort from the fact that we are now the 2nd largest party. We have been given the responsibility of being the principal opposition party in West Bengal. But again, like I said, these are learnings for us. There are many other issues that we need to look into, as in how the campaign was managed, how the tickets were allotted, and how we managed to, not do as well as we would have wanted to.
You know, Priyanka, a lot of Congress sympathizers will say that the learning should have come after 2014, and I have questions coming your way on that. But Rajiv Chandrasekhar, you are in Parliament, you see the dynamics unfold there. These elections were important for the BJP. They lost Bihar, they were humiliated in Delhi, and today they stand vindicated, having stormed one of the bastions of the Congress party, which is Assam. They've not just done that, they've also made inroads into Kerala, scored in West Bengal, made some ground in Tamil Nadu. Is it fair to today call the BJP a national party?
Yeah, I think it's obvious that the BJP NDA is the only political formation that is consistently expanding both vote share and footprint around the country. And on the other hand, the party that has been at the forefront of reasonable amount of obstruction in Parliament for the last year and a half, which is the Congress, is increasingly showing signs that it is becoming irrelevant, even in a state like Kerala, where it will go from being 39 seats in the assembly to about 20-21 seats. So I think the facts are all out there for people to see, that the politics of negativity and obstructionism that the Congress played out for the last several months has given it exactly what it has got today, which is nothing.
All right, I think you're referring to the politics of opposition also in the Rajya Sabha, and we have very many questions there. But Sagarika, I want to bring this to you. We had a discussion early in the morning when numbers began to come in, and we were both quite surprised with how well the BJP has done, not just in Assam, but also in other states. It's got a national footprint today, something that was actually only Congress's domain. My question is, why are we shying away from saying that BJP today is the only national party? And Congress is actually relegated to the margins, is becoming far more regional in nature.
I think if you look at it, Supriya, you're absolutely right. The BJP is the national party #1 at the moment. There's no doubt about that. I think the Congress cannot really be in denial. I think it must accept that the position that the Congress once had as the central force in Indian politics, I think that perhaps now belongs to the BJP. The BJP began in the North Indian Hindi belt. It then moved westward to Gujarat, and now we can see that it's moved eastward, and it has, as you were pointing out, that double-digit vote share in both Kerala and in West Bengal. So I think the BJP is the #1 national party at the moment, and I think the Congress should not be in denial about that. I think this is a very serious wake-up call for the Congress. These wake-up calls are keeping on happening, and we are keeping on voicing the need for introspection. But I think the Congress really needs to go back to the drawing board now and see whether its leadership is being able to lead it in this very, very competitive and tough political environment that the BJP has created. It fights elections with a hunger that journalists have not seen in the Congress. I travelled in Tamil Nadu, and I found that the BJP did not really have that much at stake in Tamil Nadu, but it was fighting the elections with a massive energy and a massive hunger. The BJP has the hunger to be a national party. It has the hunger to fight elections, which the Congress simply does not have. The example is drawn of Gujarat. The BJP is supposed to be declining in Gujarat after 20 years, but can the Congress defeat the BJP in Gujarat? Is there any state in India today where the Congress can defeat the BJP in a direct fight? I think that is the question that the Congress has to ask itself. So yes, in answer to your question, I think as far as the BJP is concerned, it is the #1 party at the moment.
Fair point indeed, but Priyanka, I want to get this back to you because I think Congress has some tough questions to answer here. The impression is that your party doesn't seem to be able to read the writing on the wall. You haven't been able to arrest the fall after 2014. There hasn't been a single AICC meeting to even assess what happened in the general elections. You almost seem to be in denial mode.
No, that is a bit unfortunate to say. Yes, there haven't been spectacular changes as people would have expected. But there have been changes being made at various state levels, whether it is about changing PCC presidents, giving responsibilities to new people. So the change has been gradual. Now, every single change that happens may not instantly deliver results, but we are understanding the challenges of every state where we went wrong in 2014 and ensuring that every state is adequate in itself as far as leadership is concerned. So we have been going about this through states, through zonal representation, etc. But yes, it isn't bearing fruits for us right now. But I'm very certain down the road it will start showing results and changing the pattern of votes that are coming our way, or rather not coming our way at this point in time.
Sagarika, I'm going to come to you in just a bit, but I think Yogendra Yadav, I want to bring this to you. Are we staring at the Congress heading towards complete decimation? Like I asked Priyanka, they seem to be in denial mode. She believes it's unfortunate we say that. But is the Congress party heading towards complete decimation? Look at the number of states they're now present in. It's a handful, and very small ones actually.
In politics, it's always easy to overread things, decimation and such like, maybe over descriptions, but certainly today is a very, very serious setback for the Congress party. You can explain away Kerala by saying it's routine alteration, but what about Tamil Nadu? What about Bengal? Routine alteration should have favored the Congress. So wherever Congress is, in Kerala, Congress does worse than its allies. In Tamil Nadu, Congress is a liability for DMK. In Bengal, Congress has got more seats, but the left will never tie up with Congress again because Congress has failed to transfer its votes to its own allies. In Assam, Congress does worse than AUDF. So yes, certainly, it's a very serious setback for the Congress. It's systematic. 2014 was bad. News since then has been worse for the Congress. So there is a trend. It's a large quantum and it's spread across the country. It is indeed very bad news for Congress party, and the oppositional space today is unoccupied.
Priyanka, I know I'm being a little tough on you, but I think the Congress party deserves some amount of slack today, and which is why my next question is going to be a little more discomforting than the previous ones has been. Do you believe this mandate still doesn't raise questions on your senior leadership, on the Gandhi family, on the people who are calling the shots, because only a very, very handful of them are?
I wouldn't say it is just about the senior most leadership. As such, Congress, we work as a team, we work together as a party, whether it is the state units, whether it is central units, wherever central leadership has been needed or has been asked to come and help or support, they have done that, and they have done that adequately. What is unfortunate, which we are seeing across the country right now, and in some state elections, that for some reason we haven't. Now again, like Kerala has this revolving policy where they end up voting out any party which is in government. So we thought we would buck the trend. It hasn't happened. Tamil Nadu changed that. AIADMK has managed to change that. So there are some learnings that go into this. Whether it is about the leadership, whether it is about the way we went campaigning, it is about our alliances, it is about who we gave tickets to. These are things which we would probably need to understand and study. But immediately what comes to mind is, whether it is Assam or Kerala. Kerala has followed the trend that it has been following over the years. And Assam, after 3 terms of governance, people have voted in for a change.
Mr. Javadekar, I want to shift the focus back to the BJP. If you actually look at the 2 assembly elections that were a setback for you, which is either Delhi or even Bihar for that matter, the national leadership was out in full force. Assam was different, where you've scored very well. You had local issues to concentrate on. You picked up local leaders. They were popular leaders, and they won you elections. Is this a template that we will perhaps see the BJP repeat as you go into elections both in Punjab and UP? Do not have a looming Modi all over, but still embolden him by winning state assembly elections.
As far as Punjab is concerned, see, every election is a new election, is a different election. And therefore, strategy for each election differs from state to state as per the political spectrum and the scenario is concerned. In Punjab, we are the junior partners. Main party is the Akali party. So it's a combination, and we will decide as a combination only. That's one. Second, Uttar Pradesh is a different state ball game. But yes, I can tell you that though central government performs and Modi ji has a charismatic leader and an appeal and connect with the common man, it won't materialize till our local leadership is strong, and local leadership and particularly the candidates also nurse the constituency for years together. So this is the basic truth of any political election game, and therefore we are now stressing on the local nursing of constituencies. Local leadership is not only state leadership. State leadership is important, but local leadership at district level is also important, and therefore that is what will form the basis of any state election. And we add with our value addition is done by the central, because central government is on test only during parliament election, but central government helps each state gain more votes through its works, action, leadership and programs.
You know, it's important that you mentioned all those things because I see Sagarika smiling and I want her to come in on that. Can a state like UP can the BJP afford to repeat this experiment in a state like UP? Very, very, very polarized, unlike what in Assam was. They've gone back on the development agenda, yes, in Assam, and which is what has won them the vote. Will that work for UP, Sagarika?
That's a very good question, Supriya. Actually, it's a question you should put to Prakash Javadekar, that can he give a guarantee that there will be no polarization and no communal rhetoric in UP, when we know that that has been the strategy that has been adopted, particularly in Western UP. Just before I come to that, I just want to also point out about your Congress question to Priyanka Chaturvedi. You know, where is the accountability in the Congress? When Tarun Gogoi lost the election, when the Congress lost in 2014, where was the accountability? Where do people take the flak? Why did the Congress leadership then persist with Tarun Gogoi and his son and lose Hemanta Biswal Sharma, who is seen as the main organization man? He's a congressman and he left the Congress because he was so badly treated. So it seems that there's a lack of accountability in the Congress. You get defeated, you don't have to pay for your mistakes. You just carry on, and so your mistakes get compounded. But as far as your question about UP is concerned, that's a very good point. Is the BJP going to learn from how it won Assam and go in for a similar kind of method in UP? I very much doubt that, because there the build-up has been so communally polarizing. The rhetoric has been very extremist. We've seen the love jihad, the ghar wapasi, the Muzaffarnagar, the rhetoric in Muzaffarnagar. So we really don't know whether the BJP will learn from this kind of template in Assam. The stakes are very high in UP. But you know what is clear, Supriya, is that voters are showing that they do not want communal rhetoric, they do not want polarization. Yes, there was a subtle anti-migrant message that was being sent in Assam as well. Yes, there was a Hindu consolidation behind the UP, but it wasn't overt, it wasn't surcharged communal rhetoric, and perhaps that is something the BJP needs to learn, that doesn't work with voters.
That's an important point that you're bringing to the table. But I want to take this back to Priyanka Chaturvedi and the point that you mentioned about the Congress. Where is the accountability? Priyanka, a lot of people are now actually beginning to question that because the Congress has done precious little to its allies, wherever it has allied, it's going to be very tough for you to find new ones, at least the kinds that you're exploring in Uttar Pradesh. Will you agree with our assessment?
No, it's very surprising that you say that we aren't doing well as with alliances. We did well in Bihar, and personally as a political party also, we did much better in Bihar in what we've done in the last 22 years. Whether it is in West Bengal, we have come as the second largest principal party right now, second biggest party right now after Trinamool Congress, which is huge after many years. So as alliances, yes, we will stitch up alliances with people we believe in ideologically, where we have some common understanding of issues, where we have common stance on issues. We are not just going to get into an alliance to opportunistically come into power like the Bharatiya Janata Party is doing in Assam or they're doing in Jammu and Kashmir. Our alliances would definitely be based on common minimum understanding of issues at hand and where we stand on those particular issues. So whether we go alone in Uttar Pradesh or we go with alliance partners, that would be decided on the basis of common minimum program that we can decide on and we can agree on.
You know, I really want to take this discussion away from just the Congress and the BJP and talk about the other two wonders. I mean, let us not deny their place under the sun today. Mamata Banerjee for what she's done in West Bengal and Jayalalitha and Yogendra Yadav, I want to come to you on this. If you actually see how this politics has been in New Delhi, they haven't been very open overtures from the BJP to these women. I mean, at least to natural allies like Amma. She's been a part of the NDA before. Do you believe with them coming back with stunning majorities and great numbers, they are now going to get a greater clout, but they will also perhaps be wooed a little more by the ruling class here, at least from a legislation to legislation basis?
I'm told the Prime Minister tweeted and thanked and sort of congratulated both of them first of all. So clearly the BJP would like to make overtures for the simple reason that they need them in the Rajya Sabha. I don't know what the response of Jayalalitha and Mamata would be. Jayalalitha has been a BJP ally in the past, may connect with them. Mamata was an ally once, but Mamata I think would be more careful. She doesn't have much to gain from the BJP alliance, so she would play it hot and cold. That's how it would be played out.
So Rajiv Chandrasekhar, you are a member of the Rajya Sabha. You see a lot of back and forth on many issues, small parties ganging up against either the ruling class or excuse me, or throwing their weight with the opposition benches. Do you believe this is going to set the rules to change? We will perhaps see a lot more engagement between the treasury benches and the smaller, seemingly smaller players, but very, very powerful leaders in their own rights.
No, I am hopeful of that. I can't say I'm confident of that because I'm not in government, but I'm very hopeful that there is clearly an alignment now of parties that believe in in the legislations that are good for the nation, good for the economy, for creating jobs. The only thing that was discordant all these months was this constant carping and noise and obstruction by the Congress. And I hope genuinely, and I really would pray that they abandon that line of obstructive politics, get into whatever it is that they believe in, have much more practical, pragmatic debates in Parliament, change bills, change laws, whatever it is. But this obstruction, this noise in Parliament was creating all kinds of fallouts, not just within the Parliament, outside the Parliament, and uncertainty that was really hurting us, as has hurt us for the last 6-7 months. So I hope that they reconsider their political game plan and believe that they can get votes by a new narrative, maybe an alternate set of ideas to the government, rather than just saying everything that the government does is wrong.
Mr. Javadekar, since you are the one who represents the treasury benches here, are you going to be far more accommodating, far more reaching out, far more amicable towards people like Jayalalitha and Mamata banerjee over key legislations?
There are two things. We have one position in each state where we may be opposing them. But as far as Parliament is concerned, we reach out to Congress even. We reach out to Communists even. So parliamentary cooperation is a different ball game, and state election and state politics is a different ball game. We will always, those who have won today, Jayalalitha, Mamata, we have Prime Minister has already congratulated. The issue is we will cooperate when there is good program. If there is anything which is not in the interest of the people, we'll fight out. But that's a state politics. Let us not mix state politics with the parliamentary protocol, which is to take country forward and as much as possible reaching out to everybody. So we'll reach out, but Congress has to rethink its own strategy.
Mr. Javadekar, before I take it across to other guests, I understand the mandate will of course not change the numbers immediately in the Rajya Sabha, or at least even in the midterm. But does this give you more confidence to push through reforms? You've been a little apologetic about pushing the big ticket ones.
I think now their wisdom will prevail in Congress also. That just by having few more seats in Rajya Sabha, if you want to stall the growth of the nation, people are perceiving it as you are not doing a national duty, which all parties are mandated. After all, we have 36 parties in Parliament. But the one mandate is common, that is to take country forward. And when we need to take country forward, then we must ensure that the whole idea of parliamentary democracy is to accept the majority of parliament, that is Lok Sabha, and there can be good suggestions, there can be some good contribution from Rajya Sabha, but Rajya Sabha cannot be, you can't make it as a political tool of stalling all the progress. I think this wisdom will prevail on Congress after this drubbing.
Sagarika, do you agree with that? The wisdom will prevail on the Congress. I'm going to put Priyanka on the mat on just in a minute. Actually, let me get Priyanka on this first. Priyanka Chaturvedi, do you believe with the popular mandate against you, you have lost the political legitimacy to obstruct, to oppose reforms, at least a kind of legislative logjam that one has seen in Parliament?
I'm sorry, we have been cooperative as and when needed. We will create an issue and we will talk about those issues if they go against the will of the people and against the interests of the people of this country. If GST is the only thing which seems to be making people feel confident about the Bharatiya Janata Party, then it's actually unfortunate, because there are many other key issues which they have changed as far as the GST is concerned, which could in the future be a problem for the people of this country, which maybe, either we are not being able to convey it, or which we should be conveying more emphatically. Wherever cooperation is needed and wherever we find issues which will help the common people, we have gone with those. We have raised objections, we've raised points of issues and points of concern only in places which will affect and impact the common man, which happens to be, if that GST is the only talking point, it would become unfortunate situation to be in.
Because you mentioned the GST, it's only fair I ask Rajiv Chandrasekhar this. He's been in Parliament for long now, has seen the back and forth on the GST. It's stuck in a political crossfire of sorts. The Congress having lost some amount of political legitimacy. The BJP emboldened and enthused and optimistic with this victory. Will GST be a reality going forward, Rajiv?
It not just blunts it, it raises a complete question mark about the Congress's political strategy in Parliament, because it clearly is not achieving anything for anybody. The least that a political party can do for itself by doing something in Parliament is get itself votes. It does not do that. It loses all its elections, and it puts the country behind as well as in terms of reforms. It puts the average citizen on the disadvantage. So I think the Congress's strategy over the last 1 year in a lot of ways has proved to be a failure for its own political needs. And we all know that it doesn't help the economy, it doesn't help the average citizen. So I think it's time for the Congress to sit back, take a pause and say this kind of obstructive politics for the sake of obstruction isn't helping them, and it is also hurting the country. And so they may want a plan B, and I don't know what that plan B is, but as a start I would recommend to them that you should stop obstructing good legislations like GST and the other bills that are in the pipeline.
Sagika Ghosh, I'll let you have the last word on this show then. Do you believe a verdict, a mandate like this is going to bring together the anti-Modi bloc? But the question is that who is going to catalyze it? Who is going to be the anchor of the bloc? Considering Congress is relegated, it's marginalized, how do you see the anti-Modi forces come together?
Again, that's an excellent insight. I mean, that really is going to be the future. The Congress having vacated the opposition space to some extent, who will fill the opposition space to the BJP remains the big question. Before I come to that, I just want to address a little bit about parliamentary behavior. You know, this government should be magnanimous in its victories. It's won a massive Lok Sabha mandate. It's now won these big victories across India. It must be a little more magnanimous, a little more warm-hearted, a little more large-hearted as far as the Congress is concerned. If you do a Google search of images of Sonia Gandhi and Vajpayee, you'll see many of them. If you do a Google search of Sonia Gandhi and Narendra Modi, you don't see them together at all. The fact is, one tea party with Sonia Gandhi is not going to help. You're going to have to reach out to the Congress. You denied the Congress the leader of the Lok Sabha. You denied the Congress, denied the Congress the respect in Parliament often. You refer to relatives in Italy. The Prime Minister himself says, I don't have relatives in Italy in a campaign rally. There's a lot of name calling of the Gandhi family that comes even from senior ministers in Parliament. Now, this kind of hostile, pugilist, tu meh that the government itself engages in really doesn't befit this massive mandate it got in 2014 and also all these mandates it's got now. It really has to be a little more magnanimous and has to reach out to the Congress and not always be in fighting mode and always be in pugilist mode. Who is going to take over the opposition space? You're absolutely right. It's not going to be the Congress. It's going to be the Federal Front. It is going to be one of the regional parties. It's increasingly clear is going to take over the opposition space. But who will that be? That's an open question.
That's a very valid point indeed. And just as you said, I actually did a Google on Sonia Gandhi and Atal Bihari Vajpayee. And like you said, there are plenty of pictures and some of them rather smiling and being amicable. One doesn't see that in Indian Parliament anymore. But on that note, we thank each one of you for sparing time and talking to us. The Minister here, Prakash Javadekar, Priyanka Chaturvedi from the Congress Party, Sagrika Ghosh, Consulting Editor of the Times of India, Yogendra Yadav, and of course, Rajiv Chandrasekhar. Really appreciate you taking time out this evening. This is Mandate 2016, The Big Picture.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.